Good day everybody, Molweni, Dumelang, Sanibonani. It is your girl there, and once again I am back with another video. As you know what time and day it is today. Today is Thursday and this is Thursday Talks with Me. If you are new to this channel, allow me to welcome you to this Talk with Me. Here we talk about anything. Please do make sure you subscribe, like, comment and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified each time I upload a video. Now let's get to it. Once again, this is part 2 of the effects of absent fathers in our lives, and to dwell on this conversation I am joined by a young lady whom I will give an opportunity to introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Thalitha and today I will be joining V. You can catch me on Instagram as Thalitha_K and on my very own YouTube channel as Thalitha_K. Let's get into it.
Please do make sure you do check her out. As I have mentioned, this is part 2 of the effect of absent fathers in our lives. Let's face it guys, we all, each and every one of us have a father. What differs is our experience or experiences with our fathers. As I have mentioned in part 1, there is nothing worse than a man that can be everything to everybody else except a father to their own children. So Thalitha, do you aspire to be married or to be a parent one day?
Yes, I definitely do.
What role do you think, or what role should the husband or father play in the child's life?
He should be present in any way possible that he can be, and if we allow him to be, he should include the child in his daily life. He should love the child. He should just be there for my child and make him know that he has both parents that love and care for him.
As you just said that you want them to be present in your child's life in any manner that they can possibly be present.
Yes.
So now, in light of that, how do you feel about absent fathers?
I have very little to none respect for them, because sometimes you just ask yourself why. Like, that's the one question I want to ask them. Why? What drove you to subject someone else to that kind of life? So I don't really respect them that much.
So would you want your child to experience how it feels not having a father figure in their life?
No,
definitely no.
It's not the best experience.
So growing up, did you have a father figure in your life? How was your experience?
It was very hard getting used to the fact of just having one parent around you. My father wasn't around to. There's certain life lessons that you need to learn from your father, and even if they come from your mother, and even if she tries to be that father figure and give you those lessons, they just won't hit home. And growing up, you're so oblivious to fatherhood and their presence because you're young and you're surrounded by this small group of friends and family. But as you grow older, you get to primary school, now your friends start talking about their fathers.
Now you feel that void that you
now you start feeling that void that, okay, I don't have a father. You start asking yourself and questioning yourself as to, how am I different from other kids? Why don't I have a father? And when you continue growing up, you get to high school and now you have a cell phone, and now you're watching everything on Instagram, Father's Day and father outings, fathers walking the kids down the line. It's like
strikes you,
your own phone becomes your own enemy. You're just there like, why am I not deserving of this? You question your self-worth a lot, you question your existence a lot, and it's really hard to get used to the fact that homes are not equal. There's some things that other kids can ask both their mother and father, but I was really limited to asking just my mother, and also seeing my mother as a single mother. It just made me realize that she had to play both the father and the mother, and sometimes it made me feel like I was in a situation where for my little sister, my mother was the father and I was the mother because I was the oldest child. So it's really hard, but it's not the end of the world.
most cases, salute to your mother, by the way, for playing both roles, because of a father who could not fulfill his role in your life. I respect and salute her. In most cases, women are abused or violated, be it emotionally or physically, but they still stay in that toxic relationship, all because of he's the father of my child. So would you stay in a toxic relationship because of your child, or because you want your child to have a present father in their lives?
I definitely would not. I don't think it's advisable to do so, because as much as your relationship with your child is also dependent on the relationship with the other parent, it shouldn't be. A father should be able to have a relationship with his son without the mother getting in the way, or the other way around. And there's so many cases out there of families that have split up, but the children are still able to have both a relationship with the mother and with the father. And I feel like staying in that toxic environment is putting my child especially, through more psychological damage than for him or her to watch me being abused emotionally and physically, and it alters their view of men and how women should be. So I'm either raising a child in an environment of making him a perpetrator in the future, or I'm raising my child in an environment that they're inferior and should be submissive to a man. So I wouldn't stay for that.
It's totally understandable, because at the end of the day, a father should be a model that teaches his child or children how to be one day, especially a gent, on how to treat a woman one day. And staying in a toxic relationship all in the name of you want your child to have a present father is totally not advisable, as Thalitha said, because that child is learning or seeing how he should be one day, or how he should treat a woman one day. In his eyes, what his father is doing, in a son's eyes, anything that a father does is acceptable.
And that's how you should aspire to be.
So now you, as a son, now you aspire to be like your father. Now watching your father treating your mother like that makes you believe that it is okay to treat a woman like that. It is okay to abuse a woman like that. It is okay for a woman to fear you as a man, of which that is not correct. And in most cases, as Thalitha mentioned, that most families, they split, or most parents divorce if they were married. Now, what's your say on the fact that you do get fathers who want to play their roles in their children's life, but they are deprived that opportunity by the mothers, maybe due to split or divorce or whatever the case may be? What is your say on that thing?
I think it's very unfortunate that there are fathers out there that want to be there for the children, but because of the relationship between the mother and the father, it hinders that, and the mother sees the father as this bad person, and when the father tries to redeem himself by being there for the child, the mother sort of makes the father pay for his sins by keeping the child away. And they don't realize what it does to the child, because now the child grows up with this mentality that their mothers always say that the father is a bad person, your father this, your father that, your father that, all because of what he did to the mother. And you could find that the father is a totally different man when it comes to the child. So I feel like mothers should allow their children to have that relationship with their fathers and decide for themselves if that relationship is going to work for them or not punish the child on their relationships.
Mothers, this is like a call to you guys. Do not allow whatever fight, whatever is happening between you and the other parent get in between him playing his role into the child as a father in his child's life. Do not be the reason of the gap between the father-son relationship or the father-daughter relationship. Instead, be the one that's allowing it, that's that's allowing the relationship to grow or to take place. Do not deprive the fathers from playing their roles in their children's life. So as you said, that growing up, it was quite challenging because you started doubting yourself, you started asking yourself all sorts of questions. Now what is your question to any young lady or gent that is watching this video and is experiencing what she experienced? Like, they're starting to believe that they're the reason why their father is not present in their lives, or their father is not playing the role as they're supposed to be. Like, what would you say to them? What's your advice to them?
I think the first and most important thing is that you shouldn't carry your burdens, your parents' guilt, burdens, or responsibilities on your shoulder. It almost has nothing to do with you. It has to do with their own upbringing and their own problems that they have to deal with, and you shouldn't have to suffer because of that. And it's easier for me to say this, but I know that accepting that concept is a very long process where you have to sit down and say, hey, listen, I am my own person, I am not linked to my father in any way, and I can create my own life. And just accepting that, okay, my father wasn't present in my life, but as a gent, you shouldn't allow that to dictate how you're going to be a father in the future. That should be a driving force for you, that if I am to have children in the future, I have to be present for my children. And every day when you wake up with that mentality that you want to be a better father than your father was, you want to be more present than your father ever was. And for young girls, you also have to sometimes look at it in a very positive way, that watching your mother do all that stuff is a form of empowerment, because society and tradition makes it so normal that you need to get married, you need to have a man who's there, who's going to help you with the school fees, a man must but if you see your own mother doing everything that Indota must do, you have that sense of, even though I get married in the future, I also want to have that independency of, I can do it by myself, I don't need a man. It's not always that you need a man, you need a man. So take it as a life lesson, take it as an empowerment thing, that it's possible. It's not something that is frowned upon. It's not something illegal. It's not a sin. So don't just look at things in a negative light. See it in a positive light and allow that to dictate your life and say, okay, I want to be like my mother. I want to be how strong she is, how independent she is, how she doesn't have to depend on anyone to do anything for her. So just don't allow it to dictate your life, your whole life. It can only be to a certain point, but at some point you have to realize that
it's life.
It's life, and it's not your fault, and you can't live your life by using your parents' mistakes and whatever as an excuse to get by with the ill-mannered life that you're living right now.
And it will never be your fault.
It's never your fault. It is never your fault.
So Thalitha, how long did it take you to accept the fact that, my father's absent in his presence? Like, how long?
I've had years. I feel like even now I'm still getting to terms with the fact that I still can't be like, okay, I can call my dad. I have to. It's something that you just don't. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and I think I'm still getting there.
I'm sorry to ask you this. This is the last question. Would you forgive your father for not being present in your life, or for not playing his role as a father in your life?
Yes, I already forgiven him, because at the same time, growing up without him has made me stronger. I am much more tougher now. I can, I'm so accustomed to not having people around that it made me stronger. By losing friendships, you don't feel that hurt anymore, because it's kind of something that you're used to. And at the same time, he probably had his own reasons, whatever they were, whether they're justifiable or not. And me not forgiving him does me more harm than it does him. So I had to let go of that anger to actually move on with life.
That being said, allow me to thank you, Thalitha, for taking the time to join me on this conversation. A heartfelt thank you to you for sharing your story and how difficult it was for you to grow up. From the depth of my heart, I render my gratitude, my appreciation and respect. I salute you. It definitely was not easy, but as you said, you are now stronger than you are. I really salute you. You did not allow your father's absence change who you are. Instead, you allowed it to groom you to be the better, or to groom you to be a positive product of that situation. But that being said, ladies and gents, please do make sure you check her Instagram and her YouTube. She has a channel of her own. It'll be down there on the screen. And with that being said, once again, please do make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified each time I upload new videos. See you on the next video.